Hello guys. Yeah, I think in Malaysia is I think good afternoon still. Not sure about the rest. Yeah, good evening or good morning now. Okay, yeah.
It's in the morning here.
Morning here. Okay, Benjamin. Yeah. So we'll be going to start in a while. So those of you who are, echo. There's some echo around. You listen to echo? Is there some echo coming in? This mic is off. Yeah, mic is off. Yes. Any more echo? I think should be quite okay, right? Sorry, because we were setting up. Quite okay. Yeah, sorry, we are sitting side to side with my co-host on that side. Yeah. Okay. So hi, Dr. Elvin. Yeah. Okay. So I think we will be starting soon. So we will be having an intro and a welcoming from our Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. Khairuddin later on. Okay. So let us maybe watch opening video. Even though we can't have a physical conference. It's still there. Yeah. Do you all hear any echo from my sound? Is good? No echo. Everyone good? Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Good. Okay. Daniel is saying good. Everyone is typing to be good. Okay. So it's good. Yeah. Okay. So we want to proceed on with the opening ceremony video. Even though we are actually cannot meet physically, but we try to make things like an online school together, so that we can actually at least share experience and also share our knowledge together. Okay. So stay tuned in the browser, in the Zoom. Don't move away. We'll be showing you an opening ceremony video now.
Let me start by discussing the importance of ICT for development, or ICT 4D. Let me tell you a story about my personal experience with regards to ICT 4D. I started my involvement in ICT for rural community way back in 1983, when I started my master's degree in University of Hawaii in the US. At the time, internet was just started. Even they just started at the experimental level. So what I've done in my research is that I developed a program to send data through packets over AlohaNet to send to the various smaller islands within the archipelago of Hawaii. That's how I started, because they need to send information to the smaller island within the Hawaii, state of Hawaii. Then when I came back to Malaysia, at the time we just started to introduce what we call Integrated Services Digital Network, or ISDN. Then a group of us in Malaysia, we started to look at how we can apply the simple technology for rural community so that they can have access to telephony. So we designed a simple system called PC-based, or personal computer-based switching system for rural communication. because in order to provide communication to the community, the investment is very high and very expensive. Therefore, we come up with an alternative, use a PC as a platform to design a switching system. Then in 1993, I moved to Sarawak. I used to work in Kuala Lumpur for 11 years. Then when University Malaysia Sarawak was established in 1993, I was the founding dean of engineering. Then when I look at Sarawak, we have a lot of issues in terms of communication and connectivity for rural community. Therefore, we form a group, again, a research group, looking at rural ICT. So we started looking at a suitable site to do our pilot project. And we found this place called Barrio, a very remote village on the mountain, in the jungle. There's no road access, no electricity, and no power supply. Basically, no utilities at all. So that's how we started the real work on ICT for development. But at the time, we don't call it ICT for development. We call it bridging the digital divide. Simply bridging the digital divide to provide access, connectivity to the rural community, providing suitable ICT technology for them. So Ibario started way back in 1998, and we started to engage with the community. So Ibario became successful because of various factors. First, actually, we need to engage with the community. It took my team more than 6 months. We make many visits to Barrio to talk to the community, to make them understand that this actually is not for us. Actually, to provide ICT infrastructure and services to the community. We have to talk to the community leaders so that they can convince the community at large so that this is something that's good for the future. Second is we have to make sure that the project is not about technology. It's about community. How technology will be used to benefit the community. We cannot push technology to the community because they are not familiar with the technology. And the choice of technology is very important. We have to understand the background, the livelihood, the economic activity, the educational level of the school and also the community, so that we can choose the right technology for them. Thirdly is actually we have to identify and train local champions. Because as researcher, we cannot spend our whole time with them. We have to go back to our university, you have to go back to your classroom, but the community will be there 24 hours. Yeah. So we have to identify and train local champions so that they can look after the project and to make it sustainable. The fourth one is actually to come up with a training program and to monitor the project so that it is sustainable. Without training, I think it will be difficult because you need to train not only the local champion, but the local champion will train other people, especially the young boys and girls in the community. Yeah. So last but not least, actually, is for us to come up with a good business model so that the telecenter or the facilities that we establish within the community can be used as a business center so that they can generate revenue, can enhance their livelihood. For example, by using the ICT facilities, they can promote their products, they can promote their tourism services, and they can also improve their education delivery for the student and also healthcare of the community. So overall, I think in order to be a successful project for ICT 4D, collaboration is very important. we as researchers at the university cannot work alone. Yeah? We need to collaborate with government agencies. We have to collaborate with international partners. We have to collaborate with even our technology partners, corporate sector. So this is actually it's not an easy project. So for students, I think the most important thing is you must remember ICT4D projects is not just about you doing the postgraduate studies or research. It's about how the knowledge that you gain can be of benefit to the community. Yeah. So that's very important because there's no point of doing your research if it is just for your own self. Yeah. You must remember ICT4D actually is about the community. Whatever you do, you must focus on the benefit that the community will gain as outcome of this project. Okay, one of the initiatives that we have done at UCTS, which is College of Technology Sarawak, with our partner Tallinn University, is in the service learning program. You know, this service learning program is very unique because it allows students to go to the community and to share their knowledge and also to learn from the community. If we look at ICT4D, it's about bridging the digital divide. But to me, service learning is about bridging knowledge and reality. Yeah? So that the student, when they learn the theoretical part in the classroom or in the university, they can bring the knowledge to the community and how to translate the knowledge into something useful so that the community can use for their daily life. Yeah. At the same time, students, when they go to the community, there are local knowledge that the student can learn and bring back to the campus and to do further research on the topic. So I think the Cornell and UCTS collaboration is very important for us, and also it reflects the type of student that we are preparing for the future. So because university has been pressured, as far as ranking, quality assurance, financial sustainability, but we must also remember that the graduate they produce must be engaged, must be relevant to the community. Therefore, the service learning is one way of us to make sure that the students, when they study here, they are also connected and also they are aware what is happening in the community around them. UCTS has been appointed as ICT-4D-Asia Center, and I can assure you, UCTS being a new and vibrant university located in a small town called Sibu in Sarawak. Sarawak is a state within Malaysia, and our location is in Borneo Island. Sibu actually located in the central part of Sarawak, and if you study the geography of Sarawak, I think more than 65% of the population are actually in rural areas. In addition to that, Sibu, where UCTS is located, our surrounding communities, majority of them are in rural settings. Yeah. Therefore, by having ICT4D in UCTS, we can provide living labs, living research labs to anybody who would like to embark on ICT4D research project. We can provide you real community, a real research problem. You can travel from here, my campus, by river transportation. You can even walk in the jungle. You can meet with the local community, and you can actually understand the problem and how to come up with new ideas innovative ideas to introduce ICT for development for this community. Therefore, I think it is very relevant that the ICT for the Asia region is located in UCTS because we provide you with the opportunity and also the real cases that you can find throughout not just Sarawak, but so we can explore to the whole island of Borneo. So welcome to UCTS, and I think you can work with us, and we look forward to more collaboration so that we can see that ICT 4D not just looking at ICT, but also other aspects of research such as socioeconomics, education, healthcare, even sustainable energy. We are also embarking on renewable energy, and you can see that ICT 4D in our setting, you need also energy. Without energy, you cannot run all the ICT equipment and system. So with that, I think UCTS is the right place for us to enhance our activities in the field of ICT 4D.
Hello, everybody. Good afternoon, good morning, and good evening, depending on where are your location and your time zone. Everybody okay? Hi, Alvin.
Hi, Prof.
So I hope you have some insight of what we have done in Sarawak with regards to ICT for development. So I think I was asked to do some kind of opening remarks for this online school. So I think it is indeed a special privilege and also pleasure for me to welcome all students, distinguished speakers and participants to IPID-Asia Online School Tour 2020, hosted by UCTS, located here on the island of Borneo, from today until the 4th of November 2020. So I would like to take this opportunity to thank our partners and collaborators, namely Tallinn University in Estonia and Namibia University of Science and Technology. Prof. Ike is our good friend. I've been working with her for a long time, with Dr. Alvin. Also, a special note of appreciation to our main sponsor, Swedish Program for ICT in Developing Regions, or SPIDER, for the generosity and continuous support to expand the international network of researchers, practitioners, and students who are involved in ICT for D globally. I'm so excited and motivated to see the list of distinguished and renowned speakers from the various corners of the globe, such as Norway, United Kingdom, Pakistan, New Zealand, Germany, Canada, and of course, from Estonia, Namibia, and Malaysia. Thank you for your support and contribution in this online school, and to share your knowledge and experience in the areas related to ICT 4D, especially with your leadership roles to motivate and guide the young students and researchers. I'm glad that UCTS has been chosen to host the IPID-Asia chapter. Therefore, I must congratulate the School of Computing and Creative Media and Advanced Center on Sustainable Socio-Economic Development or Access of UCTS for taking the initiative to engage with our partners. This is a major milestone for UCTS because with this Asia chapter, we can plan and provide opportunities for capacity building, knowledge sharing, and research collaboration among members. Special thanks to Associate Professor Dr. Tariq Zaman for his tireless effort to bring IPID to UCTS and Sarawak, and also to Mr. Gary and his team for making the detailed arrangement for this event to take off smoothly. I must also thank Professor David Lamas of Tallinn University and Professor Heike of Namibia University of Science and Technology for co-sharing this event with Dr. Tariq. To all participants and friends, I would like to welcome all of you to our university here physically. One day when COVID-19 is over, here in Sarawak, to explore new research areas and to work with our local communities, because here we can offer you the richness of the ethnicity, the diversity of social cultural backgrounds among the communities, and also the challenges of the social economic development here in Sarawak in particular and Borneo in general. To all students and participants, I hope you will enjoy all the sessions so that you can understand better on the concept of ICT 4D and to learn from the success stories, challenges, the lesson learned, the implementation models from the expert and practitioner of this unique area of research for the community. I wish that with our joint effort and enthusiasm, you will be able to promote ICT 4D as an important platform to create a more inclusive society for greater prosperity for everyone. On behalf of the organizing committee and UCTS, I wish you all a successful and productive event and also an enriching deliberation and discussion. I look forward to our future events, and with that, I wish everyone safe and thank you.
Thank you, Prof. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, with that opening remarks, I would like to share with you a few minutes, since I already prepared some slides just for the benefit of the participant. The title is basically turning digital divide into digital dividends. Yeah, this is the slide. I think in many developing countries, there is a increased awareness on the powerful role of digital technology can play in the social economic development. However, majority of the population in developing countries live in rural areas. Therefore, the main challenge is how to embrace digital technology to create a more inclusive society for greater prosperity to all. And then on top of that, we have to explore further how this technology can further enhance your quality of life by transforming what are called digital divide into digital dividends. Okay. I think briefly, I think everybody is aware that majority of the world population are still have no access to the internet. Yeah. More people are deprived of these facilities or access to internet in developing countries or regions. For example, in Malaysia, we have still about 24% of people live in rural areas, and the penetration of internet only about 70%. If you look at Sarawak, where UCTS is located, I think the penetration is much less. Yeah? So the percentage of people live in rural area is 40% compared to the national level of about 20%, 50%. So meaning that there's a challenge for us to look at how ICT to be deployed to rural areas so that it can bring benefit to the community. Now, I just would like to share with you this graph, this diagram. Actually, is about how to embrace digital technology for development towards Industrial Revolution 4.0. I believe there are three main components. One is the technology, one is the society, and also the other one is the business part. Yeah, because we must make sure that the technology we deploy will benefit the society. And how they will benefit society is by providing a good business model for them, yeah, so that they can leverage on the technology for their economic activities locally. So for me, when we talk about IR 4.0, for Malaysia, this is my personal view. We have not reached even 3.0. We are actually at 2.8. This is my personal opinion. Because not 100% people in Peninsular Malaysia have access to the internet. But in Sarawak, I think the case is worse because we still have to deal with people living in the rural area, very remote places, where not only internet but communication is still not available. So my observation is that the level of technology that for Sarawak is still at 2.3 as compared to 4.0. But we look at Japan. Japan is a good model where they are not just looking at technology per se. They are looking at how actually digital transformation can affect society. So they are looking at society as the main focus rather than just technology. So Japan, they introduced what they call a society 5.0. Yeah. So because Japan, they are facing with the aging population. So how they are looking at technology will help the society. Not so much about rural community, but more for the aging community. Yeah. So that's Japan. So what are the fundamental issues? When we embark on ICT 4D, we must understand different community have different needs, have different background, have different priorities in their life. So you can see this picture. These children, they think that selfie is common because they see from the internet. But for rural children, they just copy the action, but they don't understand the technology because they don't have it. Yeah. So the fundamental issue is how to embrace. Now I call it from ICT 4D is for digital technology 4D, DT 4D. So we have to understand the technology itself. We have to actually believe that technology can actually make change for the better for the community, and how the community can accept this technology, and how we as researcher practitioners get involved and to help the community. So I don't want to go into detail, but actually basically how to make us ourselves, the community, and our partners embrace the technology so that it can benefit the community. Now I go to the digital dividends. It was first introduced in 2016, at the World Developing under the World Development Report. So it says that digital dividend can be considered as the broader development benefits that the community can achieve from the use of digital technology, especially the internet. So when we started as bridging the digital divide, it is about connectivity, access. But now we are looking beyond access and connectivity, but how this technology can benefit the society in a more broader aspect. So good example, what we have done, my team, we have involved in this for the last, I think, nearly, how many years? almost 20 years, or more than 20 years. So actually we have started this, by the way, and I mentioned in my speech earlier, in my video, this is how we started, just to bring internet to the community. And I mentioned in my video, we have to talk to the community, local champion, the choice of technology, the application, and how to create business for the community. These are the dividend that we have bring to the community. Education. So we have introduced IT classes, the computer lab, internet, the culture. We preserve the culture, even the language. We help them to do e-commerce, to market their product, agriculture. That's how we have the first clinic in the jungle to be connected with Wi-Fi and the satellite. Community, how we empower them so that they manage the telecenter, the technology, and of course the human resource development. So these are the dividend that we have given to the community. And from the dividend, then we got recognition, and the government acknowledged our approach. Therefore, we share this dividend to other places, not just Barrio. So we expand we replicate our project to other places in remote areas in Sarawak and Sabah. Yeah, that's how we share the dividend. And then internationally, we work with our partners from Japan, Indonesia, Philippines, Thailand, and Vietnam, and with our technology partners from Mitsubishi, NEC, NTT, and Oki from Japan. These are very informal group of people who are interested to do ICT 4D in the Asia Pacific region. Yeah. So we have done this project in Thailand, Philippines, Malaysia, Indonesia, Vietnam. Yeah. And every site have their own specific focus. For instance, in Malaysia, we focus on education and health, whereas in Thailand, they are focused on agriculture. In Indonesia, in e-government and also e-environment. In the Philippines and Vietnam, they are more in e-aquaculture. So Barrio, I mentioned earlier, is how we started. And we introduced e-education. Yeah, this is the dividend. And we make them interact with students from Japan, from Vietnam, through a video conference. E-health, we introduced some gadgets that are wireless. They can take their medical reading in Barrio and send direct to the nearest clinic and hospital. This is how we have done the infrastructure for Barrio. We use very advanced technology, optical local area network, yeah, and also satellite. This is a project in Thailand. So they actually implement what they call an open broadband farm to market ecosystem. That means the farmers are involved from planting the crops up to marketing, selling the product using the electronic platform. This is Thailand. This is the Philippines, the aquaculture. This community live around this very big lake. Their livelihood depend on the fish. So one day the fish all died. Huh? So we make a study and we put a sensor, solar panel that floating on the lake to capture all the data online. So that any change of the property of the water, we can detect and to rectify. Yeah. This is the Philippines. Indonesia, remember the forest fire? So we help the local people to install transmission and sensor and camera to capture what is going on around the region. The moment there's a fire, they can dispatch immediately the firefighter people so that they can put out the fire immediately. And finally, this is a very short conclusion. So beside technology, we must also strengthen the analog foundation, meaning the human resource, the people. Yeah. And we must prepare the good business model. And also we must work with the government so that to influence the government, how they can help to regulate certain policy to make it easy for us to do ICT 4D for rural community. And digital dividend is return on digital investment. Yeah? It can provide growth in terms of business, society, and the country, and create jobs for the local youth, and also provide services. For instance, like we can provide banks, e-health, e-education to the community. And we should formulate digital development strategies that are much broader than the current ICT strategy, meaning that we have to look at the community, their needs, and also the environment they live in. And should create a policy and institutional environment for technology that foster the greatest benefit for everybody. And lastly, to build a strong analog foundation to deliver digital dividends to everyone, everywhere. Finally, I want to say that technology alone cannot solve the problem. We as human beings, we must deal with the problem as we understand as human beings. Technology is just a tool. Yeah? So with that, to all participants, students, good luck in your research, and I look forward to our future collaboration and partnership. Thank you very much and all the best.
Thank you, Prof. Thank you, Prof. Yeah. So so we have Prof already. Very much thank you to Prof for the opening and also some idea on this ICT 4D. Yeah, and I think we are actually on time, and we are moving into our first we call our first session, actually led by our Dr. Elvin.